Danika, you've been watching from the side, I say a big win for Leeds and an impressive performance.
Yeah, it was a really great start for the girls. It was good to see them get out and just run a few of our plays and see what we're capable of. We've been training really hard, and we did the basics really well in the first half, I think, and that was got a bit scrappy towards the end of the first half, and then the second half we came out again, did our game, played it our way, and came up with the results.
Taking on the side, of course, who were promoted last year, so a team who you beat well in the Challenge Cup last year. What did you make of their performance?
Do you know what? All credit to Wakefield. I don't think that the scoreline really reflects the game, and I know that's really cliche to say, but I think they put in a lot of fight, and I think the key thing for me was their body language throughout. A lot of teams at that kind of scoreline would be able to read it in their body language, but you couldn't at all, and they looked like they were fighting. They really deserved that try, that they got in the bottom corner, and I kind of, as weird as it sounds, I was hoping that to get a couple more. Not really, but for them and the way that they've moved up, it's a big step from Championship to Super League, so all credit, and I hope the season goes well for them.
They're tipped to finish somewhere around 6th. You're obviously tipped to be one of the contenders this year. Are you happy with what you saw then? Obviously you'll be wanting to be out there in a few weeks' time. Are you happy with what do you think you're getting the team at this rate?
Well, I just said that to somebody else, with a few of the younger girls coming up. I'm going to have to fight really bad to get my shirt, which is great because it shows the strength and depth we've got in our squad and how young they are and the way we're moving forward. So it's good to see, but the season anything could happen this season, and the teams have really recruited well. So let's hope for a top 4 finish, but anything could happen.
And as you say, a good performance there from the team with a number of key players out, so plenty of scope for players to come back in as the season goes on.
Yeah, we've got some real key missing. We've got Shaw-Wright out, we've got Courtney Hill, who's our top point scorer last season. She'll be back next week. We've got Lois out for some of the season, which is a real loss to the squad, and that means that somebody's got to step up and direct that team and kind of direct the play. So I hopefully get a shot in again at prop and get some metres up the middle. But we've got I think there's like 9 under-19s that came out today, and one of the girls, Eleanor Powell, got called up just the other day because we've had a few injuries during this week, and she stepped up and got her debut today from not even training with us.
I've got to say I'm concerned because I thought you'd fallen out with me on Twitter the other week, and I've seen you on Instagram boxing. I was slightly concerned, but how are you feeling? Is that the next step after Rugby League? Obviously, your Instagram's fascinating, dancing, Rugby League, and now boxing. Is that the next step for Danika?
I always like a bit of a challenge, so I used to be a professional dancer, so moved over to rugby, and just whilst I'm getting through my rehab, it's just something different to mix up training a bit. Is boxing really good for my knee, twisting, turning, a lot of pressure going through it, and it's really strong, so hopefully a few more weeks I'll be back out there and back with the girls.
So physically, how about your mental state? Obviously it's always difficult when you're coming back from an injury and coming into the side coming in a few weeks' time.
Yeah, do you know what? Nobody speaks about the mental side of injury, and I think it's been the toughest ride I've ever had, and anybody going through injury, all hats off to, because it's absolutely horrible. But coming back in, it's just that kind of, it's the fear now that you've had this big injury, you don't want it to happen again. So I know that the medical team at Leeds will make sure I'm completely ready. So I'll have a good few bits of contact with some of the bigger girls up the middle, and hopefully I'll be ready and raring to go. I'll be nervous, I'll be anxious, but I'm sure that first couple of fits and I'll be fine. And
it must have been a great game to broadcast. Obviously it was live on the Leeds Rhinos YouTube and Facebook and whatever this afternoon. Plenty of people watching would have thought, this is a great game, we need to come down and watch next time.
Yeah, definitely. I know it's great that we've got social media now, getting it out there every game so people can watch from home, but get down. The support today was fantastic. It was a really great family day out. We've had all sorts going on today. There's loads of kids around. We've had the girls' festival. Pop down. I think we still get that gang girls play, and I think if you do watch a game of rugby, you can just see that you forget that it's a female or a male sport. The hits are really good. There's a talented, fast-flowing game, and it's well worth coming down and just checking it out yourself.